Mr. Rutherford.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. First, I want to thank all of you here this afternoon for your partnership, your responsiveness, your openness with me and my office. Thank you all for that. It's been an interesting meeting with all of you. Chief Master Sergeant Bitavania, I want to ask about STARCOM. Space Trainingness and Readiness Command exists, I understand, to prepare combat-ready space forces through the deliberate development, education, and training of space professionals, develop that space warfighting doctrine, the tactics, techniques, and procedures, and the test and evaluation of your capabilities. Now, I understand that in 2024, Space Launch Delta 45 actually set the pace for space, as you all say, and was actually the world's busiest spaceport with 93 launches. That's amazing. So can you speak a little bit to the strategic importance of STARCOM, that fact that we just mentioned, and relocating STARCOM's HQs to Florida, and the quality of life investments that Space Force needs to make investments in to make sure that we not only get those professionals in, but then we retain them as well?
Yes, thank you, Congressman. I appreciate it. Yes, 93 launches out of the 45th Space Launch Delta, and this year we're going to break 100. That's what we're going to do. And this adds to my opening comments about just how busy the space domain has become, when you talk about the number of launches out of the East Coast range that we have there. But STARCOM, Space Training and Readiness Command, as a strategic initiative moving it to Patrick, one of only 3 field commands that we have, and responsible for not only basic military training and the sessions for officers, but the technical training, the development, the exercises, the simulation, the modeling, the doctrine, is extremely important to the service, especially a little over 5 years into our journey. So partnering and having a basin decision to send it to Patrick Space Force Base and kind of join the space community that is in Florida is extremely strategic and important for us. There's a huge modeling and simulation community that's there. University of Central Florida, also the National Training and Simulation Association is in the area. But in addition to that, we have the Joint Services Warfighting and Training community that's there as well. The Air Force Agency for Modeling and Simulation is there. The Naval Air Warfare Center for Training Systems Division is there. And Army Futures Command also has their synthetic training environment, all located within an area. So our decision, and to how to put it down there, is because of the importance of training and developing future guardians for the fight and for what the nation demands of us, is going to take us to leverage the relationships, not only with the other departments, with academia, but also with the local community. Especially when you talk about right outside within Florida, Space Coast Florida as well, but very amenable and want to make sure they embrace the men and women who are coming down there. The Advon team that is there right now, part of Delta 10, is about 57 personnel, but this summer, as we start to make some moves, we're hoping to expand to about 144 personnel to stand the flag up, if you will. But in a few years, we're hoping to have almost 500 personnel, professionals that are there, building a foundation for STARCOM as we need it. The other importance of this decision and move is to allow Space Training and Readiness Command to start to invest in the talent, especially on the civilian side, who, now that they know they have a location where they can move their families to, they can start to build a relationship, with the Space Force, but also build a relationship with their community. And that's why that move is extremely important, because to your point, in order for us to attract and retain the talent that the nation has to offer, we have to offer them world-class training and prepare them for the high-end fight. And that is a job of STARCOM, and we're excited about the move to Florida this year.
And listen, I will tell you, you mentioned the synergy that all creates. What's going on in Central Florida, I know the ranking member is very well of that too, very well aware of that too. It's an amazing opportunity, and look forward to that. Master Chief Petty Officer Honea, if I could talk to you, we talked a little bit about some of the TRICARE issues. On January 1 of 25, TRICARE implemented its new regional contracts. And this kind of goes back to the contract issue that the ranking member brought up about making sure we have good contracts. This one is known as T5, and it's with Humana Military as the contractor for the Eastern region and Tri-West Healthcare Alliance for the Western region. In Northeast Florida, where we have both, you mentioned Mayport Naval Basin, we also have Naval Air Station Jacksonville, which is the Fleet Readiness Center Southeast. So we have a lot of use for TRICARE in Jacksonville. That contract, as I said, began on January 21, and our family members there in Jacksonville deserve to have these providers, outside providers available. But when I see providers not being paid by DHA, myself and Congressman Bean sent a joint letter to DHA, trying to get to the bottom of what is going on with these payments. When we've got providers, one is I think $100,000 upside down with DHA. We potentially can lose some of these providers that our men and women need. So can you talk a little bit about how that can affect the readiness, and how can we improve TRICARE's relationship with these investors or providers? How do we write better contracts so we can force these guys to pay their bills on time?
Congressman Rutherford, I certainly cannot speak to the contract negotiation that was assigned by the Defense Health Agency and their leadership, but I can speak to exactly as you're just describing what those effects are to our people that are utilizing those services. And just as you described, as well as I described in my opening statement, that I have found many places where TRICARE is a low bill payer, and so we're having difficulty attracting new TRICARE beneficiaries, providers for our beneficiaries, as well as I have taken a number of complaints from those providers in that they're not being reimbursed on time. And Defense Health Agency, to their credit, have worked diligently with me with their contract to have those bills paid as quickly as possible. But as we're continuing through this transformation, we're finding more and more places that we're challenged with healthcare providers. And that's not just something that's unique to us inside the military service. That's everybody in our country is challenged with that. The difference being is that your sailors, your soldiers, airmen, Marines, Guardians, and their families, we don't choose where we get assigned.
Right.
We're going to get orders to the Jacksonville area, and we're going to depend on the military health system or the extended health network outside our fence lines to see to our health care needs. And when that can't happen, that's going to have detrimental effects to our family, to our family readiness, and possibly even to our military readiness, especially if we end up having to spend military readiness dollars toward making that account whole and seeing to those benefits, which are challenges that we're faced with today, sir.
Thank you very much. And, I'd love to be able to tell you what DHA's response is, but we hadn't heard back from them yet. I yield back.